An African-American staffer fired by the state Senate took on its leaders in court. Now she's getting her job back along with hundreds of thousands of dollars as a victim of discrimination.
Team 12 political insider Bram Resnick spoke with the staffer today and has her story. Bram?
Yeah, we're hearing from Talonya Adams for the first time outside the courtroom. Inside the courtroom, Adams scored a victory that's almost unheard of. She was acting as her own attorney and the star witness in her first case ever in federal court. Now, with Adams getting her job back, a top Democratic official who fired her is issuing an apology.
I feel deep gratitude and a lot of pride.
4 years ago, Talonya Adams was fired as a Democratic policy advisor at the state capitol. 24 hours ago, a federal judge gave Adams her job back, along with more than $350,000 in damages from the state Senate.
I believe it's because I was African American. I was dismissed, yes. I also think it was in retaliation for requesting a raise.
A federal court jury in Phoenix agreed with Adams. Her 2015 firing, they decided, was a product of racial and sexual discrimination. Current Secretary of State Katie Hobbs was the Senate's Democratic minority leader in 2015 and Adams' ultimate boss.
Discrimination didn't happen.
Last August, Hobbs rejected the jury's verdict.
When it comes to women and women of color in particular, that there is an issue there as it relates to Katie Hobbs.
Hobbs dodged our questions at a luncheon on Friday. Later in the day, after I had spoken to Adams, Hobbs issued an apology. The fight for equality is something I think about every day, she said. I have long recognized the inequities that women and people of color face, and because of that, I should have been a stronger ally in this instance. I apologize to Ms. Adams. For now, Talonya Adams is looking forward to putting the case behind her and getting back to work.
That's my job. That's my livelihood. This is my job at the Arizona State Senate was a job that I loved.
And Talonya Adams and state Senate officials still have to negotiate her return. She wants her old job back as a policy advisor. The judge has given both sides until October 31st to hammer out an agreement. Live in the Alert Center, Bram Resnick, 12 News.